Invoking the blessings of the Almighty, we extend a warm welcome and a very good morning to our esteemed elders, distinguished dignitaries, honored guests, and everyone joining us here today and those tuning in from around the world. It is with great pride and purpose that we welcome you to this momentous occasion, a gathering united by a shared vision and a noble mission. Today, we mark a transformative milestone in our collective journey to make quality healthcare more accessible, equitable, and inclusive for every individual. We take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed guests on the dais, Dr. Tapan Singhal, Chairman of General Insurance Council and MD and CEO of Bajaj General Insurance Limited. Mr. Inderjeet Singh, Secretary General of General Insurance Council. Mr. Animesh Das, Managing Director and CEO of ACO General Insurance Limited. Mr. Mayank Batwal, Managing Director and CEO of Aditya Birla Health Insurance Company Limited. Dr. Vasudev Upadhyay, Director Medical Education, Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute for Medical Sciences and Research. And our very dear Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai, our revered founder and CEO of the Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute for Medical Sciences and Research. Sarve Santu Niramaya, may all be healthy. This timeless invocation is the guiding ethos of our healthcare mission. We believe that health is a fundamental right of every citizen, irrespective of social or financial barriers. It is therefore our unwavering endeavor to make healthcare accessible, available, and affordable to all, especially to the marginalized and underserved communities in rural geographies. This vision has been made possible through our 3S model, Sarkara, the government, Samaja, social institutions, and Sanstha, organizations like ours, coming together in a spirit of collective welfare. Today, one cannot overlook the transformative role of insurance companies in reshaping modern healthcare systems across the globe. Healthcare has evolved from being a purely out-of-pocket expense to a more sustainable and inclusive model for individuals and communities alike. Beyond financial protection, insurance systems have catalyzed the growth of healthcare infrastructure, introduced greater efficiency and accountability, and helped nations move closer to the goal of universal health coverage. Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research is already empaneled under major government insurance schemes including Ayushman Bharat, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, Arogya Karnataka, and Yashaswini, among others, ensuring care for the most deserving and underserved communities. Today, we are proud to share that we are the first hospital in the entire nation to partner with General Insurance Council and through GIC, nearly 32 insurance companies in India. This partnership now extends our vision even further, bridging public and private insurance frameworks to create a truly inclusive healthcare ecosystem. We request now Mr. Vivek Kumar, Chief Marketing Officer from the Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, to make the introductory remarks. Mr. Vivek has been closely associated with our mission for the past 9 years, having served on the editorial team of the Times of India Special Edition Speaking Tree prior, and has also contributed extensively to the outreach efforts of the Shri Sathya Sai Annapurna Trust. Mr. Vivek Kumar, please.
Pranams at Swami's lotus feet, luminaries of the insurance world. It's an absolute honor to welcome you all to this momentous occasion, the exchange of Memorandum of Understanding between the General Insurance Council and Shri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. Today, we gather to celebrate not just an institutional partnership, but a national milestone. Through this MOU, SMSIMSR becomes the first hospital in the country to enter into a common empanelment agreement framework with the General Insurance Council, a pioneering step that unifies and simplifies the empanelment process for hospitals across the country. This collaboration bridges the gap between compassionate service and systemic excellence, ensuring that healthcare remains both inclusive and accountable. At SMSIMSR, our founding vision is simple yet profound. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Every individual deserves high-quality medical treatment delivered with compassion, dignity, and without financial burden. What makes this hospital unique is that there are no co-payments, no out-of-pocket expenses, and no hidden costs of any kind. The only responsibility that the patient carries is to heal. All other responsibilities are ours as caregivers. Yet, while we offer compassionate care, we have never compromised on excellence, ethics, and compliance. This MOU represents our continuous commitment to maintaining the highest standards of transparency, quality, and accountability. It demonstrates that a hospital rooted in service can also stand as a model of financial integrity, regulatory alignment, and operational best practices. By partnering with General Insurance Council, we aim to create a framework that aligns compassionate healthcare delivery with the country's most robust insurance standards. This agreement ensures that every process, from patient admission to discharge, is benchmarked to national compliance norms, paving the way for greater trust, collaboration, and efficiency. The logo of GIC reads, "Together we serve." I would like to point out that one of the guiding motto of our mission is Sahaviryam Karavavahai. May we, with energy, work together. How divinely ordained it sounds that two organizations who want to work together are coming together through this MOU. Tapan sir, I would like to tweak another brilliant program that you very recently launched, Acha Kiya Insurance Liya. For this occasion, I would say, Acha Kiya MOU Kiya. Together, we are not just signing an MOU, we are defining a new chapter in India's healthcare narrative, one that places patients at the center, restores faith in institutions, and reaffirms that service to humanity is the highest form of service. Once again, on behalf of everyone at SMSIMSR, I extend our deepest gratitude to the General Insurance Council for their vision, trust, and partnership. Thank you very much.
We will now have a video on the array of services offered at our hospital and the transformative impact this collaboration will have on the lives of people from any geography, class, or community. May we have the video, please?
Welcome to Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research.
In this hospital to do a knee replacement surgery on my right knee. I was so happy being here after this operation. Of course, there's no out-of-pocket expenses for me, and also combined world-class compassionate care, which I've never experienced in this world.
From the moment you arrive, our dedicated team ensures you and your loved ones receive the best of care and support.
Last year on this same day, I got operated by Dr. Ravi Pillai. All of them are very friendly, very caring, and we were touched by their gestures.
Our experienced and caring team provides the support and expertise you need, ensuring your comfort.
Towards the end of my pregnancy, I had to be admitted in the hospital due to high blood pressure and my baby's weight was not increasing, due to which I had to undergo a C-section surgery. During the surgery, I heard my baby cry, but I was told that my baby will be in NICU for observation. I was worried, but then I saw the doctors and NICU nurses looking after the baby like their own.
Immediate, life-saving medical attention. From emergency care to recovery, we offer total health care solutions, all under one roof.
I was so happy that I saw that the state-of-art technology and the equipment that they have here right now. I was more than happy. And then looking at his nurses, his assistant doctors, and his whole team here, I mean, I couldn't have asked for more. They were so nice, so friendly. Madhusudan Hospital, Sai Hospital here, would have got the best of the best treatment.
È molto importante, quella dell'amore. Io ho ritagliato per fare dei quadretti il simbolo di un mondo, una famiglia. Qui ho sperimentato cosa vuol dire un mondo, una famiglia.
In my word, I don't think there's a lexicon that exists in the hospital today, but I would think of it like a wellness detox in some sense. So I took the plunge. It was a very quick diagnosis done by the team, and then they set me on a path of some very interesting procedures. I had the luxury because I took a full month off. In summary, I would have never dreamt that, an experience in a hospital setup could be anywhere close to this. It's a great experience I've had, and I wish this team, under the guidance of Sadhguru Madhusudan Sai, they're on a fantastic mission. They're doing God's work, and I wish them all the best.
We now come to a moment of great significance, the ceremonial exchange of a landmark Memorandum of Understanding between the General Insurance Council of India and the Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. This strategic partnership under the Common Empanelment Agreement framework marks a transformative step in healthcare accessibility. Through this MOU, a unified empanelment with all general insurance companies across India will be established, allowing insured patients from any network to receive seamless treatment at our hospital, free from financial or administrative barriers. With deep appreciation for this spirit of collaboration, may we now invite Dr. Tapan Singhal, representing the General Insurance Council, and Dr. Vasudev Upadhyay, representing the Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, to kindly come forward for the ceremonial exchange. Thank you, dignitaries. May we now call upon Dr. Tapan Singhal to address the gathering. With over 3 decades of distinguished experience in the insurance industry, Dr. Singhal has played a pivotal role in driving the company's growth and fostering innovation. A respected thought leader and a committed advocate for accessible healthcare and financial protection, he has received numerous accolades for his visionary leadership and continues to contribute meaningfully to the sector's advancement. Dr. Tapan Singhal, please, also called as the Insurance Man of India.
Let me start by expressing my gratitude to Sadhguru, gratitude to each one of you sitting here, who is part of doing so good to society and making a difference to humanity as a whole. I think the purpose of life, as per me, is to make a difference to humanity. And all of you are living examples of that, and that is why gratitude to each one of you here. Let me talk about two stories first before I speak about the impact of this common empowerment. You would have heard about the butterfly effect. It came out from the chaos theory, and Mr. Lawrence, a meteorologist, spoke about it. What he said was that even small events which sound insignificant at some point of time have a huge cascading effect. And the example he gave is, if a butterfly is fluttering its wing in Mexico, it can lead to a tornado in US. And I think that was the example that he spoke about. It's called the butterfly effect, which means just the fluttering of wings of a butterfly in some place. It can have a cascading effect which can lead to a tornado. Now, this may still sound abstract. Let me make it into more, for example, which sounds more, which we can correlate to. We all know about the chess game, no? And we know that it was originated in India. And the person who made this game, he went to the king and he showed it to him. And the king asked, "Oh, this looks so good. What do you want in return?" The person said very simply that, Your Majesty, I want that in the 64 pieces that you have on the chessboard, put one grain of rice in the first piece. In the second piece, put 2 grains of rice. In the third piece, put 4 grains of rice. Just double the grain of rice in every square. And then whatever comes on the 64th one, just give that to me and I'll be very happy with it. The king smiled and he said, you ask an emperor, and you could have asked for anything. You could have asked for the riches of the world. You could have asked for no land. You could have asked for whatever you wanted. Why do you ask for such a simple thing? The sage just folded his hand and said, Sir, Your Majesty, I'll be very happy if I just get this. I want nothing else. So the king ordered his people, please give it to him. And they started. And you see the cascading effect, or you got the compounding effect in today's term of what happened. First piece was 1 grain, 2 grain, 4 grain. By the time they reached the 20th piece, it was already 10 lakh grain. And by the time they reached the 40th piece, it was already 100 crore grain. And to reach the 64th piece, they would have to bring grains from all over the world which had ever been cultivated over time. It was next to impossible to reach that. In just 64 pieces, the compounding effect of multiplying a grain reached to such mammoth value that the emperor could not fulfill the desire of the sage of giving what he had asked for. In history, there are moments which have a compounding effect. When we see it in the beginning, we do not realize what power and what effect it's going to have. Common empowerment, as we see today, when you look at it, it looks like an MOU exchange between an amazing institution which has done so much for society and continues to do so, and the General Insurance Council, a body of all general insurer, health insurer, reinsurer in India, which is set up by the Parliament and the Act on that basis. It looks like a very simple thing. Now let me explain to you the impact and the power of it. Now when we look at healthcare, or we look at education, these are fundamental rights for the citizen of our country, and this should be affordable and accessible to everyone. And this should be done in a manner in which you have full transparency and leads to the best of benefits. If I ask you a question, if I take you 10 years back, how much did you spend on healthcare for your family and how much you spend today? The multiplying effect which has gone and the kind of corruption which has entered the system in terms of what is happening, there has to be a kind of a body which brings in fairness, which brings in transparency, which also brings in any kind of unregulated entity which is not right for the conducive for the country should be put to a check. Now, why is this required? It can still happen that it's not required. Again, the compounding effect. If you look at the medical inflation today, which is 3 times the average inflation of the country, which means on a compounding effect basis, in 20 years' time, the average Indian will not be able to afford healthcare in India. Which means that for an average person, they would actually be devastated when an incident requiring healthcare comes into the family. Even today, if you look at, I think if I refer to a World WHO report 6-7 years back, it mentioned 10 crore Indians go below poverty line because they can't afford healthcare. Today's scenario is a bit better. It's close to 4 crores. It has happened because of schemes like Ayushman Bharat. Hospitals like the ones that you have created here has brought it down. Fast forward, if the healthcare was unaffordable, huge population of the country would actually go below poverty line because they can't afford healthcare in India. There has to be a semblance, there has to be a check and balances. Profit is good, but exploitation is bad. There has to be a means and mechanism where if you look at data points, if a patient is insured, the percentage of cesarean is about 80%. If the patient is uninsured, the percentage of cesarean is about 15%. Is it not funny? How can, because you're insured, your cesarean goes up compared to time when you're not insured? We can give you 100 examples like this. And that is where, when as an industry body, we decided that we have to do something for the country and put it together. Common empowerment means that every insurance company signs up to the hospital, and any kind of cash which happens, it goes through for all companies together. And there's no hassle from a patient's perspective of trying to figure out which hospital has cashless from which company. And there's no hassle for the hospital because it's completely transparent straight through, and there's no need to figure out which company is giving what. We're also setting up a redressal mechanism under the council, in which if there's a dispute, the hospital can directly go to the redressal mechanism, which will have members from the hospital body, which will have doctors, which will have insurers, which will have neutral parties. So the fairness is maintained, transparency is maintained, and there is a methodology to how do we take it forward. So no side in any forms tries to become exploitive in the whole process. That has to be put together to take it forward. Now when you're thinking of such big causes, when you're thinking of such compounding effect, when you're thinking of such powerful mechanism to protect the future of citizens of the country, where would you start this from? No, it had to start from an institution which is already doing it for the country, which is living and breathing what they speak about. I had come here a couple of months back, and I was so impressed to see the hospital when I went here. It was amazing. I've been to a lot of hospitals across the country, across the world, but this to me sounded like one of the best that I've seen. I saw the neutral care for the kids there, and the facility that they had was phenomenal. And I met the doctors, I went together. And then to my mind I said that when we do common empowerment, we should start from here. And that's a promise I had made. To all the dignitaries here who spoke, and I told this to Sadhguruji when I was leaving. I said, we shall do it from here. That's my commitment. And today when we're starting this, we said we do it from here. We already have close to 4,000 hospitals lined up now to do it. I already have Mr. Shekhar Sampath Kumar and Shashi representing the council and the ones leading it from the fund. I also have the president of Agents Association of India, Mr. Lokesh. Can you stand up, Lokesh? No, I think. So he represents all the agents across the country. He's the president of that. He's also here as his commitment to the cause to ensure that we deliver what we speak about. And institutions like this get recognized. This, to me, is the flapping of the wing of the butterfly for tomorrow's tornado of taking care of people. Thank you so much for this time, and honor to be here. And thank you from the behalf of all the CEOs of the industry. I have two leading ones from the industry with me right now. I have Mayank, who you heard Aditya Birla, not only that, in the health committee of ours for the council. He is the chair for that. I have Anmesh, one of my young stalwarts. He heads the best direct company in terms of online for insurance space. He is here to be there. So I have a lot of representations from my insurance industry, the general managers and all sitting in front here. So we're all here committed to the nation, committed to the cause, and gratitude to each one of you for allowing this to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Singhal. We are grateful to all the stakeholders who are now our esteemed partners, part of the One World, One Family mission, for their presence this morning, showing their solidarity, shared vision, and commitment. We take this opportunity to extend a token of our love and appreciation to everyone. We would first like to commence with the dignitaries on stage. First, to Dr. Tapan Singhal. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us this morning. Mr. Inderjeet Singh, Mr. Animesh Das, Mr. Mayank Batwal, felicitating our offstage dignitaries, Ms. Deki N. Bode, Deputy General Manager, Health and Estates, United India Insurance Company Limited. Ms. Varsha Gujarati, Chief Customer Officer, Universal Sampo General Insurance Company Limited. Mr. Dinakaran, General Manager, the New India Assurance Company Limited. Mr. K. Ramagopalan, Operations Head, Narayana Health Insurance Limited. Mr. Dharwez Muhammad, Senior Vice President, Manipal Signa Health Insurance Company Limited. Dr. Segar Sampath Kumar, Director Health, General Insurance Council of India. Mr. Shashidharan Nair, Consultant and Technical Advisor, Health and Other LOBs, General Insurance Council of India. Mr. Vikramjeet Bhaina, Head of Marketing, Bajaj General Insurance Limited. Mr. K.C. Lokesh, Member Executive Committee, General Insurance Council. Mr. Gunjan Sahai, Executive Assistant to Dr. Singhal. May we please invite everyone back on stage for a group photo, please. Thank you, dignitaries. May we now request Sadhguru for his benedictory address.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखम् आपनुयात्. This is the universal prayer that's Indian in its origin. It says, may all be happy, may all be healthy, may no one see any sorrow, may all see good everywhere. From this land of wisdom and concern for all humanity, when we chant this prayer, we just don't chant it, but we work towards making this prayer happen, making it a reality and not merely a wishful thinking. And our institutions have dedicated themselves towards this cause of universal welfare. For decades, this idea of universal health coverage has been eluding the policymakers, the institutions, the industry, and the patients. Though it is a wishful thinking at this point of time that everybody under the sky must have access to high quality, affordable health care. But it is yet to become a reality. From the most developed nations to the emerging ones, everyone is grappling with this difficulty to make healthcare a universal phenomenon. But today, finally the butterfly is flapping its wings thanks to Singhal Saab, who came a few months ago, and we had a long conversation, both spiritual as well as about the present scenario of healthcare in India and around the world. And he came up with this thought that I think it's time to do something different, something that is going to have a lasting impact on the legacy of healthcare systems in India and maybe from there internationally too. Being the head of General Insurance Council of India, which is the apex body under which all insurance companies operate, he took it upon himself to make this happen, as he said, to bring all the industry leaders together under this roof to sign a historic MOU, which has never happened in the history of India so far, to bring all insurance companies which are under GIC to work on a common empanelment program. And the very first institution, medical institution, hospital that is signing this MOU is ours. So we are very grateful and thankful for making it happen. He's accompanied by everybody in his office. Just now I learned, from his secretary to whoever of the GIC secretaries to people who matter in GIC to several institutional heads, as we just now saw, and some of them on the stage, some of the dais. All of them committed to this one idea that he has mooted, that healthcare access is not a privilege, it is a right, and it must be given to everyone who deserves it. And as industry body, as regulatory body, it is a sacred responsibility, a sacred duty that has been given for GIC to discharge. Giving a little history of our institutions for the sake of those who are here for the first time. This mission began about 12, 13 years ago. We did not have a single hospital at that point in time. We built the very first pediatric heart hospital in Chhattisgarh, Raipur. I was born in Chhattisgarh, and I had a soft corner for the poor and the tribal people of Chhattisgarh. And by Bhagwan Baba's grace, who is the real founding father of this mission, we were inspired to start the first hospital. It is one of the world's largest chain of pediatric heart hospitals today, which serves for free. There are 4 dedicated pediatric heart hospitals from Kargar in Navi Mumbai to Palwal in Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Raipur, Nava Raipur, and Kondapaka in Hyderabad, Telangana. And of course, this 5th one, this is at Muddenahalli, the Sathya Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. This apart, we built 2 more hospitals, pediatric heart hospitals abroad in Fiji Islands, which was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister of Fiji and India together. And a hospital we built in Sri Lanka, in Batticaloa, in the war-torn region of Batticaloa. This apart, we also built general hospitals in Nigeria, as far as Nigeria, 2 of them. And we are working on a hospital project. We already have a center, medical center in Mississippi. Clarksdale is the name of the town, and in the Mississippi state of the United States of America. There are many proposals that are in the offing from various other charities who want to work with us to provide universal healthcare access, not just for Indians, but for all the people, because our mission is called One World, One Family. So everybody is welcome. And as you would have seen in the video, even in this institute here, people have come from Australia to the UK to Malaysia to Italy, from everywhere, not just from India, from everywhere they have come here. Not because they cannot afford it in their country. Maybe their country has better healthcare systems and they can afford it, but they believe, they trust that this system is going to do an honest job of their healthcare needs. In India, these hospitals, pediatric heart especially, have served over 38,000 pediatric cardiac surgeries have been done absolutely free of cost, and millions of consultations. We have mother and child hospitals across India, 5 of them, from Rishikesh all the way, Raiwala, near Rishikesh, down to Karnataka, which is here. We have a beautiful mother and child neonatal care facility. We have in other places like Chhattisgarh, Raipur, Yavatmal in Maharashtra. We have Jamshedpur, that is up north, and similarly, more are coming up now. We have general hospitals which we have built with other charities. The first one we built was in Bapatla in Andhra Pradesh, which are 50-bedded hospitals which take care of the primary and secondary need of most of the patients. Put together with this facility, we have done over 1 lakh surgeries so far, absolutely free of cost. That includes delivering babies through C-section wherever necessary. We have seen over 3.5 million patients in the last 10 years, and when all these hospitals were built at different points in time, not on the same day. We built it over the 10 years, and we have invested more than 2,000 crores in serving our nation and beyond through free, accessible, affordable, high-quality healthcare. So that is the commitment that these institutions have made to make a significant difference in the field of healthcare. And must remember, not a single rupee charge to anyone so far. From heart surgeries to C-section deliveries to neonatal care to emergency care to neurology, urology, orthopedics, name it, all this has been absolutely free of cost. I know sometimes it is hard to believe. When you are running an insurance company, it's even more hard to believe with what's happening. I keep reading in the newspaper the tussle between the healthcare institutions and the insurance people all the time going on. And I keep reading them and I wonder, I don't know who is right, who is wrong, but then at the end of the day, patient is the sufferer. When 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers, they say. So that is what is happening right now to the patients of our country. So there has to be some sense, there has to be some method to this madness. And I am very happy that Mr. Singhal has taken it upon himself to, if I may so, to bell the tiger of healthcare and bring some sense of discipline and regulation and righteousness in healthcare. This is why I appreciate it so much, because I know it is not easy. There will be forces up against you in arms. But to stay for what is right, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Our country says, dharma eva hato hantaha, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. The one who destroys dharma is destroyed by dharma. The one who protects dharma is protected by dharma. How else do you explain that a charity mission which doesn't charge a rupee to anybody continues to grow, expand, scale and sustain itself for these many years? Not only this, we also are into nutrition. We serve approximately 1 crore of children across 25 states and union territories, free morning nutrition, so that they don't become sick, they don't become anemic, they don't have problems of malnutrition and developmental delays and defects, so that they don't become our patients in our hospitals tomorrow. They can study better and learn better, and that's how we can reap the demographic dividend that we are all talking about nowadays. So we intervene there at that level too. And we also work in education, which is to make sure that our citizens are not just educated, employable, but enlightened citizens who contribute more their might for the welfare of the country and the world beyond. We have institutions, 30 plus institutions, including 3 university campuses, and the world's only and the very first free of charge medical college, which was the first inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister on this very same stage 3 years ago almost. When we built these institutions, we had a vision that It's not just about bringing down the cost of healthcare, affordability of healthcare, or making sure that everybody is insured and is able to access healthcare. It was also to give the world good quality healthcare providers, be it doctors, surgeons, nurses, paramedics. And because of the high cost of education in these fields, which has also been privatized largely, the cost of post-graduation, for example, I was telling yesterday when Mr. Injeti Srinivas was there, somebody who was at the finance ministry and now he chairs NSE. I was telling him that 2 years ago, a postgraduate seat in radiology in Gujarat's one corporate medical college went for 11 crore rupees. From 2 to 11 crore rupees, anything in between is the cost of postgraduate programs in some of these very popular specialties in the country, which makes quick bucks, you see. In the background of all of these, our institutions have stood tall and firm to make sure that this idea of Sarve Santu Niramaya, the Indian idea, is manifested, is made a reality in our lifetime. Whether it is providing medical education for free to the most needy, deserving, and very bright rural students. Many of them are sitting here. May I ask them to just stand up? The girls are right here in front. I think boys are behind. But these are, please stand up. These are the girls who have joined the medical school in the last 2 years, and third batch is in the offing. The nursing also, please. Nursing, paramedical. And the boys are right behind over there. They all have got a free seat. They are becoming nurses, doctors, and yes, sit down, thank you. And paramedics who can support the institutions, healthcare institutions, and because they don't carry the burden of an education debt, they are more willing than anybody else to go and serve in remote, rural, and small towns. And they are not rushing and making a beeline to the corporate healthcare setups because of the need to earn and repay their loans. So this is how this mission is so committed and working at both the ends of the spectrum to prepare healthcare professionals, good quality, highly talented, highly committed and compassionate on one end, and on the other end making healthcare so accessible and affordable that going all the way to not charging anything to the patients and having served millions so far. But to scale it further and make sure that this becomes a commonplace thing in the entire country, in every part of the country, we needed partnerships, we needed collaborations, we needed right and like-minded people to work alongside. And that is where GIC comes into picture, because the biggest problem of the country today is not perhaps the 20% upper class which takes care of its own needs, it can pay for it, it can afford it, it can even go abroad to get it done. Then the remaining 45 to 50% of the rural and poor population which is covered under the various social schemes, including state and central schemes, ABARK is one of them. But then there is this missing middle in between of approximately 35 to 40 crore people who neither fall into the category of ABARK eligibility, nor they are so capable that they have taken very high-end insurance or they can pay it for themselves from their earnings and savings. These 40-45 crore people who are stuck in the middle, what is known as missing middle, is the category where we are looking to intervene with the help of GIC. And taking care of them also, these are mostly self-employed people, shop owners, small shop owners, taxi drivers or workers in industries. Many of them are not covered under some of these schemes. Some are employee schemes are there, but largely many of them are left out. They have fallen through the cracks in the system. And this is where we are trying to intervene and stop the rampant commercialization of healthcare in India. We talk about some kind of controls or regulations, but as I said, life is so precious that one is ready to go to any extent to save oneself and one's loved ones. Now, without quoting, but I have what he mentioned just now. If there is an insured one, then C-sections are 80% in that category. If there's no insurance, then mostly they try to manage within whatever the patient can afford to pay. And there are only 15% C-sections, for whatever be the reasons. But one reason is surely if they can pay, let us take it. Now I met somebody in Delhi, a very renowned transplant surgeon. I know transplant is another thing altogether in our country. What's going on, everybody knows. He was telling that even if it is not necessary, they do it because there is an insurance that covers it. And that is the tussle between the healthcare institutions and the insurance companies, because if you charge the patient and the insurance company for what is rightfully done for the patients, nobody has a problem. But sometimes, because most of our healthcare institutions which have been corporatized are largely owned by private equities and foreign investors, so they have this pressure to deliver quarter on quarter, and that's where the gap is. And obviously the sufferer, as I said, is the patient at the end of the day. And middle class, what he was talking about, they are only one healthcare bill away to fall from the middle class to the lower middle class and lower middle to the poor. From APL to BPL, it's just one medical bill that makes it happen. And for most of the families, because we have children coming from rural India, many of them lost their parents, many of them have huge debts, they are farmers' children, and they have gone through a lot of trauma and difficulty. So I understand these stories that happen every day. And I am from a middle class family, so I do understand the problems of middle class. We are good as long as we don't have a catastrophe, a medical catastrophe like a healthcare bill. Somebody gets a heart attack and we are done, all our savings get wiped out. And as he said, now maybe less people are being pushed into poverty because of out-of-pocket expenses. But there were times when 6 crore to 10 crore people were pushed into poverty every year. So one side the government pulls them out of poverty, the other side the bucket leaks, and then all these people go back into below poverty. So the only plugging of this hole is to make this healthcare transparent, accountable, regulated, and provided through right kind of healthcare institutions, which are honest and have integrity. I think we are, with pardonable pride, we can say that we have done whatever we can in ensuring that this happens. And that is why we have so many satisfied patients who are very happy, not just because they got good quality healthcare services, but also they got it with a lot of love and compassion. Our doctors are happy doctors because there are no targets every day. Our patients are happy patients because there is no pressure of paying the bill before even you get admitted. Our healthcare workers in our institutions are happy workers because they know they're doing a good job of whatever is being given to them. So there is so much of happiness in the system that itself has a healing effect. And this is why this system needs to be promoted. And what we have done also is very interesting, is because our students all get free education. They don't pay a rupee for anything till their PhD or medical education, whatever they study from school all the way up. I've told the parents that what you can do for the institution is, please come for 15 days every year and be volunteers at our hospitals and serve. And now all our parents of all these children, it means we have 3,000 plus children, we have 6,000 parents, means 12,000 hands. They come here and they take care of the patients like their own family because they have benefited from this system, their children are benefiting. So the only way they want to show their debt of gratitude is to serve the institution. They are our volunteers, they've been trained. Many of them regularly come to the same departments, help in administrative paperwork and other things, whatever their abilities are. So that is how we have integrated every section of the society into this Mahayagna of providing good quality, affordable, accessible healthcare for everybody, the universal healthcare. Today what we are doing would make this available to the last and the least, the remotest people also. And people already come from several states here. But many times, even though they have that state insurance, it doesn't work in our state. And that is why there are gaps. And I was wondering how can we fill these gaps so that it helps the institution as well as the patient both ways. And that is where GIC comes into picture. We are committed that it is a mutual relationship where while GIC promotes the idea of common empanelment so that there is transparency and standardization in the cost of services and the patients are not the sufferers at the end of the day, we as institution would take it upon ourselves to promote and educate patients to take health insurances. Because today, as he mentioned, care cost is something, but the inflation that is happening, that can become prohibitive sometimes. Even a charity like us would struggle to serve those patients. So before such a day arrives, educating our patients and everybody else who comes in our orbit, the need to insure themselves at a reasonable price is the game changer. And this missing middle can be looked after. And Singalji was saying, we would support you with this and you can open more healthcare facilities around the country which works on the same principle. I said, why not? Actually, we have a vision. I told our people that we want to open 6,000 small clinics across every mandal taluka of the country so that nobody has to travel more than 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers to reach the closest facility from where they're connected to a tertiary care facility through telemedicine, and now we are investing in artificial intelligence so that it can talk to the patient in its language, the language that the patient understands, and bridges the communication gap between the patient and the doctor. That is one part. There are also small pharmacies next door. So they take care of it. We also take their samples for testing to the closest lab. So that is the first model, the primary care model. The second model is that of secondary care, where we build 40 to 50 bedded hospitals, 600 of them, in every district at least one. And that will feed these, be fed by the patients who come from the primary care center. And I hope we can take care of them before it becomes a tertiary care emergency. So the cost of patient care also comes down. And that is the second model. We've just started on that. As I said, we have only 4 or 5 hospitals in the secondary care and close to 50 centers right now on the primary care. We have a long way to go, but we have begun our journey. It's only 1.5 years old intervention. And then the tertiary care institutions, which we have close to around 10 of them in India itself, and this is the largest. And the upcoming hospital, which is 600 bedded, is going to have every specialty that you can ask for, including robotics surgery for both soft tissue as well as hard. So you are able to access the world-class care right here. And what cost? At the cost that the patient can afford. There is no extra cost. As I said, if he has an insurance, whatever be the insurance, we will cover everything within that without burdening the patient or the insurance company. The rest of it we will manage because we are not for profit. And that takes away 30-40% of unnecessary costs. And our infrastructure is all donated, because of which, again, 15-20% of cost that you pay towards building the infrastructure, the EMIs and so on and so forth, that's also removed from the equation. So almost half the cost can come down for the same procedure, which would, if done in any corporate setup which is funded by its own fundraising or investments and PEs, and also has a profit component to it, to pay returns to the stakeholders, that kind of reduction in cost can happen, and that's where the insurance companies stand to benefit if they work with us, because for the premium that they take, probably they can pass on this benefit to the patients and reduce the premiums further, because your care is being done at half the cost of what it would be done elsewhere. How do I know all these things? I was previously working for a banking and finance sector, so I know about insurance. I've sold enough insurance policies, so I'm aware of all this. So my idea is that the benefit of it, the ripple effect that he's talking, it's not only about changing the healthcare delivery systems in India, it's also changing the healthcare cost to the insurance company and the patients. And if more of these kinds of hospitals can come up where the real cost of healthcare is only taken care of and not the additional burden, then I think every patient will be happy. And I have very clearly told our team, there is no copay, there is no out-of-pocket expenses, from the admission to food, to the bed, to the medicines, pharmacy, including the stay and care for the attendant who comes with the patient. That also will be looked after within the system. Until the patient is discharged, the responsibility is upon us. So that end-to-end care for the patient is what we are offering. And I hope that this becomes a successful model with all your support, and eventually we can build more and more of these institutions everywhere, so that a lot more of these middle class patients, the missing middle, will find a middle ground, as I said, to get their healthcare needs fulfilled. And it would be done not just with technical proficiency and competency, but it will also be done with great care and compassion, because those are the cultural values which we have built these institutions, and we are instilling these values in the next generation of our doctors, nurses, paramedics. And these people over the next 10, 15 years, as Tingalji was saying, we have to look ahead. 10, 15, 20 years down the line, it would change the way things are done in India. And these children will be there in all these healthcare setups, committing themselves to the cause of universal healthcare, quality healthcare, and accessible and affordable healthcare for all citizens of the country. So that is the big vision with which we are working, and we are very excited. I always tell our people, there is never a dull moment in our mission. Something always keeps happening. Something is always exciting every day. But today it is very exciting because I think it is very strategic. It is path-breaking. It is revolutionary. And maybe its effects will not be felt now, but sooner or later there will be a tornado around the country and the world with this new way of working, where charities like us, absolutely committed to selfless service, join hands with committed insurance providers like all of you, who want to do good for the country, who want to do good for the patients, and it is supported, hopefully, by the laws and the regulatory bodies and authorities of the country. This is the model that only India can achieve, because India has been praying ever since the dawn of civilization, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Santu Niramaya. No other country did that. India did that from the day one. I'm sure those prayers of our rishis and the ancestors and the great ones would come true today with all our collaboration. So I would once again like to thank everybody on the stage, Mr. Singhal, Mr. Das, Mr. Singh, Mr. Mayank, of course Upadhyay ji, Dr. Upadhyay from our institute, and everybody else who works in this mission, and all our dignitaries and guests who are sitting down the stage. To everybody, my best wishes. And as I said, we have to make it work. A marriage has to be made to work. It doesn't work on its own. So we are committed to making it work, and making it work well, happily, and with mutual benefits. So that the impact on the patient is happening and the patient is benefited from this effort. So closing with another prayer. Of course, I have to thank Vivek, because Vivek was the one who initiated this. He worked very hard to bring all these agencies together. So thank you. He's a young kid on the block when it comes to insurance, but he has done a great job of bringing everybody together. So we'll close with a chant from Upanishads again, the Shanti Mantra, which says, together we serve. Sahana Bhavatu. Everybody chants? Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Singhal would now like to offer a shawl to Sadhguru as a token of his deepest respect and gratitude. With this, we conclude the event. Thank you everyone once again for joining us today.